Hey, how you doing? Hopefully you guys are having a great day. I just wanted to just have a moment, just encouragement. Um, so I've been thinking about why people have this feeling of acceptance to their current situation. I've been wondering, if people are so upset about not getting a raise on their job, why why does that upset you? I know you've probably put in a lot of work, you have a lot of emotion involved in it, but in the long run, I mean, it's not really money that you want, right? You want more time with your family. You want more time away from stresses of life. You want to not have to worry about bills, I understand, but it's not really money that you want. So why do you have these emotions about not getting a raise? Like, this is the dynamic that you're in. You're in the position where you have to wait for another human being to give you what you're worth. This is another reason why I fight and I push for to be continue to have that entrepreneurial spirit, to own my own business, because I mean, I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm capable of, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna have to wait in line to meet and have a discussion with someone else about what I'm gonna make if I'm worth a pay raise. And I gotta say, you know, first, let me back up. What makes people get in this position to feel comfortable with even having that conversation? Like right now, I am so focused on my business, I would not even care about a pay raise. If I had to sit down with a boss and say, "Hey, you're going to get a raise, or you're not going to get a raise," I don't care. I really don't, um, because that's not where I want to be. Like, see, the thing that where my mindset is, and I would hope other people's is too, is this is just a stepping stone. A job is a stepping stone. It's like um, Robert Kiyosaki said in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, a job is a short-term solution to a long-term problem. So the short-term problem, or the long-term problem, is you're always going to have bills. You're always going to have what they call in the corporate world overhead, things that you've got to pay for every month, bills, necessities. That's every month. That's a long-term problem. The short-term problem, the short-term solution people use and make it their whole career and their life, is working for somebody else. That's just a short term. And I think the reason why, well, let me back up. I guess where does it come into play where someone leverages that money, like leverages that to make something of their own? Do they just feel comfortable in being where they are? And why do you feel comfortable? Why does that comfort to you to have to wait for someone to pull you in a room and say, "Hey, I think you're worth the extra 50 cents. I think you're worth the extra 3% raise"? Like, where as people do we get this feeling of, I mean, I know a lot of people aren't happy, I mean, where they are, and there's some people who are happy, but where do we get this feeling of just being content with where we are? And if we're not content, why does we where's the push? Like, where's the urgency? Where's the drive to build something on your own, to get out of, this rut? Because if you've got a job definitely should be leveraging your time away from work, should be leveraging any extra money you have. You should be being frugal with it, being on a budget, and investing in yourself and building something that you love to do on the side and build it up. Whether, I don't know what that is for you. And that's the thing too. If you don't know what it is, there are hundreds of courses out there. There's courses that show you how to find your passion or take your passion and monetize it and build a business from it. I mean, there's tons of courses, there's tons of training, there's tons of information. So I guess if you're in that position right now where you're waiting for someone to give you to see your value, and you working hard and you get upset because you don't get a raise, like, I feel really bad, and that people don't have that vision or that thought. And if they do, maybe they've given up on themselves. Maybe they don't believe in themselves. But I mean, I just want to let you know that you can do whatever you want to do in life. And if you want to work for another person or another company because that's security for you, and you feel that's your comfort level, your comfort zone, then go for it. Then this video is not for you. But if you are not happy with that situation, I mean, I'm here to tell you that you can do whatever it is that you want to do in life. And I think that you should double down on your pros and stop focusing on the cons of yourself. Like Gary Vaynerchuk would say, because I follow him as well, I think you should just start building on top of the things that you're good at and focus more on that, and learn how to take classes if you need, courses if you need, and training, online training if you need, to learn how to monetize that, to start building your own business in that area. Because I'm not waiting for someone to pull me in a back room and say, hey, I believe in you, thanks for your hard work, here's 3% raise. No, that's not me. But I'm definitely here to encourage you. Definitely believe that you can do whatever you want to do. But I think the first steps, like, you really got to manage your time and money. While you're working that job, you really have to take that time, take that money, and put it to use. And if you're not happy constantly going to work, if you have other joys in your life or other hobbies or things you like to do that bring you happiness by doing them, like, you really need to find out how to monetize that. You need to find out how you can do that, and just do that. Because this world, this is such a big world, and I don't know if it's the people we're around, the people we make friends with, that get us in our comfort zone. I gotta share this thought because this is so relevant to what I'm talking about. So, a while ago, I went on a bike ride, early morning bike ride, and I think I maybe did 15 miles. Sorry. I did like 10 or 15 miles on a bike ride, and I did I went through, it was a pretty good scenic path. It was a long country roads, and the path I took went through different housing complexes, different areas. 1 minute you're going through cornfields, the next minute you're going through country roads with country style ranch houses and barns. The next minute you're going through new subdevelopments, new home styles, and back and forth. It was a little different, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful scenery. But one thing that really got in my head was this thought, because like I said, you go from seeing these barns and ranch style houses, and then to fields, to barns, to these new urban developments, to these newer style, the newer style houses that are kind of bunched together with no trees around them whatsoever. And, you know, as I rode my bike through some of the neighborhoods, you know, I couldn't help but to wonder, some of the neighborhoods were like really country. They had like a whole bunch of crap on their porches. Just the yards were just filled full of stuff. It looked kind of dirty. It looked bad. It looked really bad. And what was weird was it was like a cluster of all these houses on the same street. And my thought was, were all these people alike? Because this is out in the country, out in the, you know, country roads. This isn't like I guess I don't know how to say it in words, but how do you develop this living style? And if it's like this, who moves into this? Like, who moves into, okay, I found this nice house, it's nice, I'm gonna buy it, and then you buy it, and then is that how you lived? The same way they lived? Like, what happened to this area? What makes everyone comfortable living like this with 30,000 kids' toys on my front porch? I've got work that was started but never finished in my backyard. I got 20 bikes on the side of my house. My front yard has different things like all over the place. It was just looks horrible. Why does every house look like that in this little mile road? And it was different. Like and you go to the next subdevelopment, everything's nice, everything's clean, organized. Why do those people have this kind of setup where they're comfortable? That's their comfort. And then this is this way. And I feel like it's this bubble. It's just community. So again, going back to the comfort zone, like what makes you, if you're not happy where you are, what keeps you there? What keeps you? Is it laziness? Is it you have a comfort zone? Is it peers? Is it people around you? Because you need to break it. You have to break it. Because I guarantee you, nobody moves into an area like the ones I saw that are just trashed that is a neat and clean person. They don't. You're not going to want to move there or next to them. But only people that are alike move to that area out in the country. Out this specific, not all the places in the country on those country roads were like that, but it was weird to me that the ones that were so clustered together, like they were like literally in the same street. All of the houses in the same street were like that, and then you automatically just switch to the next 20 houses were completely neat, nice, cleaned up. All the yards were done. They had great architecture, great I forget the word, but their yards were all clean cut and trimmed. Bushes were trimmed. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like I turn around and ride back through it just to like, what the hell? I'm looking around, and then that's the question: is what makes people comfortable where they are? Like what kills the fire? How do people transition? So if that's where you are in life, yeah, I just want to encourage you, if you're that person that's gotten comfortable, but really deep down that there's things that you love to do and want to do, I mean, go for it. I'm urging you to first budget. Watch consistently where your money is going. Number one, your money and your time. Gotta watch where they go. Because you're giving your time to your job, and then guarantee they're going to make more money off of you than they're going to give you, obviously, because they're not going to go in debt to keep you, right? They're not going to pay you more. I'm not going to pay a guy $100 when I'm only making $50, right? So your job's going to make more money off of you than they're going to pay you. And I think that dynamic has to change. If you're sitting there waiting for somebody to recognize your hard work, like why do you need somebody, right? Why do you have to get in your emotions, get angry because you might not get a pay raise? Like, is that what you want to do? If it is, go for it. Just have at it. But if you've got things that are a deeper burning desire in you, then I strongly, strongly urge you to push. Just push. Start putting your money away. Be frugal with it. Watch where it goes. Stop spending it on unnecessary things. Same with your time. You leverage that time you have. Start building, start learning, start investing in yourself, and put in the work. Like, put in the work, and get out of that space that you're in. Because, I mean, I've seen people who have completely changed their whole dynamic and how they're paid, how they structure. They don't need a job anymore, and it's just off of just these things you wouldn't normally think that somebody can go and take a small idea like tables and make these tables or chairs and sell them at a ridiculous profit, and then automatically that's their business. They love to create things. They love to design things. They go to Lowe's or the hardware store, get woods, and just in their free time in their garage, they just perfect their craft. And next thing you know, they're selling these structures, anything from front yard wood signs to family signs to tables, chairs, and like, because they love to create things, because they love to take an idea to make it real and just work on wood and sand it and cut it and whatever. And they go from looking for a career under someone else to doing their own thing. Same thing with construction. I know guys that have been working in construction. They have the knowledge, like they have everything they need. They take it and they apply it in their own life, in their own area. They get out of working for that foreman or that construction company and they start doing their own thing. Next thing you know, they're doing roofs and home remodeling. Like, I've been there. I used to work for people like this, and it's just amazing to see that people turn a dynamic and they start doing what they want to do. And I feel like if you're not, but you want to, like, I believe in you. I think I have no doubt you can do anything in this world that you want to do. No doubt at all. But I also have no doubt that it does require work. It does require leveraging time and money to make sure that you're consistently managing where your money's going, where your time is spent. Because building something like this is like, for lack of a better example, is like a baby. You have to hold it. Spend time with it. You have to nurture it. You have to feed it. You spend money on it until it gets to that age, whatever age that is, where they can, be more independent, and you can slightly step back. That's the transition when people start to leave their job, when they drop down to part-time and they start working back and forth, most of the time spent with their business, most of the time, and a little bit of time with their job, until that business gets to the point where it can walk on its own, and you can just completely just walk away from your job. And that's what I push for every day. That's exactly what I push for, and I believe anybody can do that. Anybody can do it, but it takes time. Like, people, it takes time. You cannot think it's going to happen overnight. People ask me about that. Like, no, it takes time. Like, I'm not completely 100% there, but consistently building, consistently pushing. I'm not where I want to be completely 100%, but at the same token, I'm different. I don't feel like I'm ever going to stop learning. I don't feel like I'm ever going to be at 100%, because for me, I think life it's a consistent battle. I won't say battle, but it's a consistent roller coaster of finding yourself, of learning and improving in self-knowledge and self-growth. So I don't think I'm ever going to be 100, like, perfect or happy or content. Well, I don't say happy, but I mean, like, what's the word? I don't think I'm ever going to be just content. Like, oh, I'm good. I can sit back now. No, I'm going to always push. I'm going to always have ideas, and I guess that's the best way to explain it. Like, as long as you have ideas, which we know ideas come and go, but as long as you have ideas, you can always try to create them and make them real. And that's why I think I'll never stop. Like, I love the idea of making my ideas, using my creativity to create them and make them come alive. So if you're in that moment, in that mode where you got content, or you got, kind of relaxed, I just want to encourage you to snap out of it, man. I think you can do it. Definitely. I definitely think you can do it. It's definitely possible. It's not something that's impossible. People do it frequently. I don't say all the time, but yeah, it's definitely doable. So I just wanted to have that little moment and encouragement with you. So hope you guys have a great day. I hope you really push to do what it is that you want to do. I hope that you're not waiting for improvement, for that moment of someone else approving your work ethic and seeing your hard work. I hope that you are able to leverage your time and your money and put it to what really matters. I know family matters, but one thing that sucks is missing family time because you have to go to a 9 to 5. So again, the short-term solution, people use a job, but at some point you've got to manage and leverage your money and your time to build something better than a job, because there's lots of ways you can leverage. Again, it takes time. It's not going to just click and you're going to have $1,000, $1,500, $3,000 coming in every month from something that you created. It takes time. So right now I'm trying to get my business to run at about $3,000 a month consistently. That's my goal. So it takes time. It definitely takes time, and you got to continue to push. You got to continue to invest in yourself, because I guarantee you this, that these businesses out here are taking the time to invest in themselves. They're taking the time to invest in great lawyers to read fine print and to create and draft these magnificent contracts that they give them the advantage and the win. I guarantee they're taking time to invest in marketing, and marketing companies that perfect their marketing content and strategies, and to win. So they're being very efficient at what they do, and they're making money. They're making profits consistently. So that's right there in itself. Just stepping back and looking at the whole picture of what that business or these businesses and corporations do, that's kind of a blueprint. Like, it's possible, just maybe not right now on that scale of doing millions a year, but that same blueprint from A, B to C is the same thing you can do with just like the girl, I think she was 11 to 13 years old on Shark Tank, who was making bracelets, and she had already sold over 1 million. And I said, wow. That was just, if not the biggest motivation. I'm like, well, this girl's 11 years old making bracelets. Her parents are just taking her to I forget the name of the place, but one of those Joanne Fabrics, and just getting just little beads and strings, different they call them trinkets, charms, and just she goes off to her room, makes 10 to 20 bracelets, something she probably loves too. I imagine this little 11-year-old girl is just in her room, blasting her favorite music, got her whatever things that she loves around her, favorite teddy bear, just sitting on her bed, Indian style, just having fun, like putting these little designs on her bracelets, making them and whatnot. And imagine that, selling millions, and she's just really only working. I mean, to her, it's not even working. I'm just having fun. I'm sitting in my room in my bed, listening to my favorite songs, and I'm making $1 million making these bracelets. It's just crazy. So, it can be done. It can be done. There's a lot of strategies. Like, one thing, I read a lot of books. I've cut back on reading, which I wish I didn't, but I'm trying to pick it back up. But one thing that gets me is I think it was Robert Kiyosaki again, when you start doing something you love, you're not working anymore. Like, you're really, really not working. And it's crazy because you'll put more energy into something that you love or something you want to do than you ever will when it comes to having to do something that you just need to do to make money. But I don't want to drag this on. I mean, I've been 25 minutes already, but these are just my thoughts and my words of encouragement for anyone out there who's kind of stuck. Keep pushing, keep going, invest in yourself. Pay attention to where your money's going, where your time is being spent. Leverage it, because businesses are every day, and they're making profit. Your job is only going to pay you what they think you're worth, and they're always going to make more money from you than they're ever going to pay you. So I don't think that there's a future in that. I mean, there's people have made a future out of it, but you're always expendable. You always can be replaced. And then when you're done and you're 50 years old and you're 60 years old, you have nothing to pass down. All you have is a title, a nice title from your career. Maybe that's for you. If that's for you, again, this message isn't for you. But just for my thoughts and what I feel, what I believe, I'm always going to push to be independent. I'm always going to push to have my own thing because, again, you're always going to have bills at the end of every month. How do you leverage your time and your money to create something that will replace a job? It's doable. So just want to drop that in there. Just give you guys something to think about. Hopefully you're encouraged. Hopefully you push and you invest in yourself. Love you guys. Be safe. Hopefully like this video. If you like it. If not, like it anyway because I said so. But subscribe. Definitely takes the time to subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks.